Hello everyone and welcome to the final round of the Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova Champion Disc. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, along with Eagle McMahon. We're at the Wildhorse Disc Golf Club and we're playing the Innova Course for this final round. Eagle, this is the chase card. What are they trying to do on hole one?
Hole one is a par 3, 393 feet, and these ladies are pretty much trying to just pipe a straight shot as straight as they can, keeping it a little bit left just so they don't go out of bounds.
Jessica Weese on the tee first with a forehand shot she's lining up. She starts the day at even par, 5 strokes ahead of the 5th place competitor, or should I say 6th place Vanessa Van Dyken.
So Jessica, she plays a wide forehand to the left, bringing it back to the right. She's going to have probably about an 80 to 90 feet up the hill. Vanessa Van Dyken. She turns one over a little bit early, but she's in the center of the fairway.
Do they play those green areas as out of bounds there?
They do not, no. The only out of bounds they play on this course is water, greens, and I think cart paths in most scenarios.
And a great forehand there by Sarah Hokom, getting past where we saw Weese land.
This is Callie McMorran. I've actually never seen her play before, so I'm looking forward to this round.
Well, we saw her in an earlier round, and it's great to have her back. Now, really exciting, all these women have made the cut. This is the 4th and final round, so everybody's getting paid. And these guys are in a great position to get really aggressive, I think, for this weekend.
Absolutely. Vanessa with a good upshot, putting her within 20 to 25 feet. Callie placing a nice forehand approach.
She's been pretty smooth with that forehand. I watched her in previous rounds, and she's really got that dialed in. It's a great approach shot for her. And Weese, as we all know, really has developed both backhand and forehand shots whenever she needs them.
Absolutely. She actually went supersonic on that approach. It looks like her boyfriend Garrett Girthy has been turning her on to one of his favorite discs. That's cool to see.
Officially infiltrated, I think. So Vanessa with a little bit of a tester, but wow, that's a great way to start the morning. Good par save.
Absolutely. It's always really nice to make a good putt to start the round, just to kind of get your confidence rolling.
Would you rather make that good 25-footer or just have a tap in so you're not quite as nervous?
Both are nice, but making a good 25-footers can really get the round rolling for you. And the rest of these ladies will just tap in their pars.
What is that? Sonic?
And we got a good star par frame to start the round.
Yeah, and as you said, Hokom asking about what that disc was, the Sonic. Here's hole 2, a shorter one.
Yeah, hole 2 is 270 feet, probably the most technical hole on this course. Pretty much you're just throwing something straight up the gap, maybe hoping for a little bit of a skip before the basket. We have this gravel fairway, so there's a lot of ground movement. And Jessica pretty much airs it to the basket, and she gets a nice kick off of, I think that was a tree stump or a rock, but great shot by Jessica.
If she was a world champ, I think we would call that world champ love.
Absolutely. Maybe she will be a world champ this year.
Look at that, splitting the legs there on the official Wildhorse mascot.
This is the first time I'm seeing Vanessa throw Discraft and Sarah throw MVP.
A lot of first years. We're kicking off the 2019 season. Thanks, of course, to Innova as our presenting sponsors. Callie going right up the middle. Just a little fade would work.
She's got a super clean form, and that's a fantastic shot right there.
A lot of off-season movement, like you just mentioned, a few sponsor switching. And Sarah with a really good approach there, or run at the basket just low.
Vanessa looks to be from maybe circle's edge.
The one thing that I've noticed as we're watching Vanessa now putt for par is she's aggressive. She goes for pretty much every putt. And as you can see, plenty of confidence when she comes back, because sometimes I think she goes a little longer than she's hoping for.
Yeah, and her putting style really enables her to do so. It's a pretty spin-centric putt, so she gets a lot of velocity on the disc, and she never really takes her wrist off the pole when she putts.
Great birdie there by Jessica Weese, and Callie has all but a tap in. Interesting, as we saw Jessica put in for her birdie. I think I saw her make a post recently saying, I practice all my putts with Heiser, and then I go to the tournament and Heiser putt. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it seems to be working.
Yeah, if it's not a problem, don't fix it.
Here's hole 3.
Hole 3, 270 feet. You have water on the left side and a concrete cart path behind it, which is out of bounds. So if you throw it OB at all, you're going to be proceeding to the drop zone. So these players are definitely wanting to navigate it as safely as possible. That needs to sit down. Jessica right there, she'll find herself inside the circle working at her birdie. And Callie, this looks a little bit early. Hits inbounds, but she gets the red flag.
She actually is about a foot off of the line, so just barely skipping out there.
Vanessa throwing, looks to be a mid-range of sorts. Really nice, not a lot of skip right there, which is great. So it pretty much sat right where it landed.
I'll sit.
Sarah throwing a beautiful forehand right in the basket. It's a good chance at birdie right there.
A little bit of a sigh. I know this one is certainly daunting for these competitors, and Callie's forehand just looked like a bit much. I believe she actually stays in bounds, but that was just a bit strong. Now she's got a comebacker. You see no wind on that flag, though.
Oh, man. Yeah, the thing with these holes is if you throw it out of bounds once and then you're a little bit shaken up. Jessica goes off the top. That was a triple bogey for Callie.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough go. I saw on the opening round, Rebecca Cox had a similar struggle, almost played it identically, and walked away with the same score, unfortunately. But Vanessa, great birdie here, and Hokom looking to clean up the same.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of movement going on just this hole.
We see a couple of 2s, it looks like, a 3 and a 6, so pretty colorful on that scorecard.
Absolutely.
What a beautiful backdrop.
Yeah, this weekend was pretty much perfect, aside from day one, which really wasn't that bad if you teed off in the afternoon. But yeah, it's been absolutely beautiful here in Las Vegas.
357 feet. This one's probably pushing the limits of where we're going to see the women drive to, knowing that they need a little bit of a turnover, and they're trying to place it up on that hillside.
But Vanessa looks like she has 357 in her wheelhouse. She gets a really nice turnover to hard pan skip. It's a beautiful shot. Sarah throwing forehand down the middle. She looks to be like maybe 80 to 90 feet out. She'll have a nice backdrop, though, to run her putt.
Interesting approach there by Jessica, seeing her throw a backhand, knowing she's probably got that forehand power.
Yeah, I think the way this hole lines up, for these ladies, more of a power turnover is going to be a really good play, because it's going to enable them to get even a little bit more distance. Like, I was looking at this hole, and a forehand, you have to really throw it perfect in order to get it there, and I think there's a little bit more leeway with a backhand.
So Callie's faced with a forehand approach after she clipped the tree just a little bit on that drive, but trying to make easy work of the approach. It looks to be pretty effective.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Callie's forehand approach game. It's super smooth, and I bet you a lot of the men in the MPO division would like that control she has. Jessica for a birdie. Just sit down.
It's right in that weird zone of should she be running it or laying up, but putt is on for Vanessa today. Another birdie here.
That's some power right there. A 357-foot birdie, that is impressive.
And no slight to you, Eagle. We were going to work with Vanessa, but the week got so hectic, she wasn't able to officially join us here on the commentary. She said she'd love to do it in the future, so we're looking forward to hearing more from her as Jessica just taps that one in. But thank you for joining us, and again, thank you to Innova. Also, Throw Pink, huge supporter of this weekend's broadcast, giving you all this FPO chase card coverage, and the PDGA.
Absolutely, I'm happy to be here. Callie taps in her par. Looks like Sarah will do so as well. Now we're moving to hole 5. Hole 5 is a par 4, 606 feet. And this hole, pretty much you just want to get past that first initial pine tree, and then you're going to be able to possibly attack the green depending on where you're sitting in the fairway.
I feel like you really need to set yourself up, as you're saying, and it looks like Vanessa staying clean will probably be doing just that. She's going to have a great run up, and I think she's going to have a great angle from where she is.
Absolutely, that is right where you want to be. She has easily the amount of distance you need to get in that ideal landing zone. Let's see what Sarah does. It looks like it hits that tree. There's a good chance she still has a pretty good look at the basket. Callie gets this turned over. And unfortunately, that looks to be out of bounds.
Just hoping to beat that tree, and it looks like it maybe caught her up just a little bit. Now Callie's going to go. She gets all of that distance, but is OB over the cart path, so this is going to be her third shot. And you got to get over that green, or you have to come up way short of it. And she just really was in a position to come up short, and it looks like that's perfect.
Yeah, that was a great second shot for Callie. Jessica playing smart, laying up just before the green in the bunker, so she'll have an easy approach. And Sarah doing the same thing as both Callie and Jessica.
Looks like they were really committed. They're going to lay up. They just want to walk away with their par here.
Vanessa is at a distance where she can attack.
Oh, yeah.
And this looks great. That needs to curl in, and it stays safe. And she's going to be putting for her birdie. Spotter a little bit confused. She gives her the green flag.
Meanwhile, Vanessa and everyone else are holding their breath as the spotter's trying to adjust which flag he needs to put up there. Hokom's looking for that to sit, so she'll have a pretty good look there for her par. And again, a huge shout out not to just Jeff Jacqua, but his massive crew and staff that's out there. So many spotters, so many people, and Wildhorse, our gracious host. It was awesome being out there for the weekend. Callie with another very smooth approach shot. She's ready to be done and could have done without that roll away. Ew, just a bit much.
Still inside the circle, but that is going to be a challenging putt looking up at the basket. Oh, Vanessa, that needs to sit down.
Wow, and that's the first putt we've seen Vanessa not connect on. We're 5 holes in. Beautiful.
Nice par save by Sarah.
Maybe a little bit more stress than she was hoping for on the par, but
yeah, absolutely.
A 4 is a 4 in this case.
This is for Callie's bogey. Vanessa from about 20 to 25 feet for her par. Great par by her. She did a really good job with getting a birdie look. So that's really impressive here on this hole. Great par by Jessica. I really admire the fact that Sarah and Jessica were able to kind of swallow their pride and just figure out a way to lay up before the green to make sure they got their easy par.
Sticking to that game plan. Beautiful hole 6.
Yeah, hole 6 is 222 feet, and it is an island hole. There's OB right, OB short, and OB probably 30 feet long. It's not the toughest hole in the world, and
It'll make you think, though.
It'll make you think.
It's right there.
Vanessa doing what I could not do, throw it safe. So I envy her on that. And Sarah going sidearm, but it catches that pine tree on the left side.
So Sarah will move right to the drop zone, which gives you about a 35 or 40 foot death putt.
Now. Right now.
Jessica,
Ooh.
she's safe as well.
Yeah, flirting with the OB line, but that looks to be a really good spot to be so that you can still run at that putt.
Absolutely.
On a standstill here by Callie, really confident in her control and her distance.
And it shows as
Wow.
she parks it.
Yeah, great
Fantastic.
shot.
Sarah from the drop zone.
Now, is it safe to say no one's really going to probably be running that putt? I mean, that water is just 8 or 10 feet behind the basket.
Yeah, there's enough room behind it to maybe give it a conservative run, but I know in a lot of cases you're just going to be laying up from there. Jessica catches left side chains.
Seems like most of Jessica's misfires today have been left side chain. We'll see if she can clean that up as we move on. But in the meantime, we've got looks like a pair of pars, a bogey, and
A birdie from
a
Callie.
birdie from Callie. So 2, 3, 3, 4 on hole 6. We're a third of the way through, and this beautiful view about 9 o'clock in the morning, Las Vegas style. Here's hole 7.
Hole 7 is a par 4, 432 feet, and you have a green right before the basket and a very small area to land on with bunkers on both sides. And I imagine these ladies are going to be trying to throw to the layup zone, which is probably about 250 feet off the tee. And that right there is picture perfect.
Exactly what you want to be doing here. I remember watching this during the second round, and I walked up the fairway and I turned to all the 4 women who threw great tee shots then, and I said, man, this is a challenging tee shot because you really have to put it right where you need it, and so far 2 for 2.
Yeah, both Callie and Vanessa put it in the ideal spot. This has some more hyzer angle, but it looks like it'll catch safe as well. Sarah's going to be demonstrating her control on the forehand. That has a lot of turn, but this is looking...
Oh my god, I fell so far!
That's safe, I believe.
Good problem?
Yeah, the closer you can get to the green, the better. So it's fantastic there by Sarah.
Truly on the fringe, and they consider that inbounds, and
Go, go.
solid approach there by Weese. Interesting when you're playing it off the inbounds, or I'm sorry, the out of bounds area, so to speak. You got to play it off the green to kind of just skip it up there.
It's that shortcut grass that you can count on the slide, so it is a good idea, just so you make sure you don't put yourself too far past the basket.
So 2 for 2 on that approach, so to speak, and also just barely off the short grass and up to the basket is Vanessa, so 3 for 3.
Yeah, these ladies are making this hole look easy right now. You see Sarah's probably a foot short of the out of bounds.
Hi, Mom.
Sarah's boyfriend, Robin. He is an absolute character. Super fun guy.
Great to have around, and Sarah kind of had a grin on her face as she was walking up to that shot, knowing that she was just barely in bounds. Callie for birdie. Oh no, she did everything right up into that point.
Still gonna par though on this difficult hole 7.
Yeah, you're really not going to see too many birdies here from the FPO division. Even the MPO division, I know, can be, really tough if they're trying to go at it for an eagle, for instance. So walking away with a 3, I think, is perfect. Correction, I was trying to say eagle. You're not going to see any eagles out here, although some people are probably tempted depending on how much power they have.
You never know. If Paige Pierce has a tailwind, she's probably gunning for it.
It could get her into trouble, though.
It
I
could,
mean, there's so
absolutely.
much OB on this hole, and I guess that's what I was not so eloquently trying to get at for my point. Sarah tells Vanessa she can keep walking. She must have stopped at just kind of an awkward spot for her concentration, and she also secures the birdie. So still, like you said, very impressive, though. 3 birdies and a par here on hole 7.
Yeah, great job by these girls. And now we're moving on to hole 8. Hole 8 is a par 3, 427 feet, downhill. You have a cart path on the left side that is out of bounds, and then a fence line that is out of bounds, but you'll hardly ever see anyone throw it out of bounds unless they throw a crazy bad shank. But looks like Vanessa is taking an understable driver, throwing it nice and low. It's going to get a nice and soft finish.
Thank you.
Yeah, and she'll be probably about 100 feet out. Maybe a long look, but still, that's a great shot by her.
Yeah, I love her control there, doing exactly what you want to do. I think the key is to keeping it low. It is downhill, so you certainly don't need to get the nose of the disc up at all. You want to keep it flat or even pointed down almost, and Jessica's forehand pretty effective, gets it even closer than Vanessa.
Sarah's known for her forehand. She's going to have some good turn and glide out of this one. She'll be right about where Jessica is, about 80 to 100 feet out.
Now, I did not see Callie throw any forehand drives up into this point. She's pretty much relies on those for for her approaches. And here's her backhand drive, and I feel like it just kind of got away from her, and she found that OB cart path on the left side.
Yeah, it didn't look like she got the nose down. I'm not sure if she slipped or not. And she's going to a backhand approach. She's going to be maybe circle's edge. Sarah's just close enough to lay it up and in with a jump putt.
A little more of that sonic action there by Jessica.
Yeah, the Sonic is a great disc, especially if there's no wind. Super floaty. It's like throwing an ultimate disc almost.
Can be quite accurate as we watch Vanessa just play the smart move like we saw from the other 2 women, just laying it up right underneath the basket. And a little too much for Callie. She pushes the edge here. She does not go out of bounds. I believe the cart path actually kind of stopped her, so she gets to bring it back in 1 meter from there. And it seems like she's got a little case of the putting woes. I'm not sure if that's a thing.
Oh, it is definitely a thing. I think we have all experienced it one time or many times. But even though she is missing, her putt does look good, and she's not missing by much.
So she'll walk away with a triple bogey. We see that gap between Jessica and Vanessa continuing to get a little bit closer and closer. That was 5 strokes. Now it's down to 3. And we're going to see how that battle continues. We're moving off of hole 8. We're going to have a quick word from Innova champion Dis as we do so. We'll be back with our final hole of the front 9 in just a moment. Hole number 9. What do we got?
Hole number 9 is a par 4, 601 feet. And opposed to last year, I believe that they moved the tee pad back maybe another 25 to 30 feet. So it kind of creates more of a tunnel shot to start the hole. Then you'll find yourself just pretty much in an open field, but then on the approach, you're going to have to navigate the bunker right behind the basket, making it a lot more difficult than years prior.
And a great tee shot by Vanessa, putting herself in really good position. We kind of famously saw, I would say so far, the shot of the tournament possibly by Jessica Weese, who threw this in for eagle during the second round, and I'm sure she'd love to create a little of that magic.
Yeah, I did see that. That was an incredible shot. It's always a great feeling when those long ones go in. Wow, I have never seen this play, but it's good. Yeah, there is an open landing zone there.
Looks like she didn't quite get as clean as she wanted to. I really love the ingenuity. I love the idea of, going a different route if that's what suits you. I think she just needed a little bit more clearance there. And Callie's drives, her putts may not be on, but it seems like her drives are right on point.
Absolutely, very accurate. And Sarah, she has an open look.
It is very open. Like I said, I think she just wished she was out a little bit more. I think she kind of got hung up. But we'll see what she can do to be creative. I like her angle here.
This looks to be good. She'll have about 50 feet. Callie getting a lot of turn. This could be really good if it fades back in time. And it is. That is an incredible shot there by Callie.
As you mentioned, there's a bunker to the right of this basket, so you really have to be controlled with this approach. And we're seeing Jessica with almost the exact same shot and the same disc from the other day. Can she do it again?
Thank you.
Come on, you got to give it a chance, Jessica.
Yeah, but she's still inside the circle looking at her birdie. It's a great shot by her. And Vanessa keeps the nose down very nicely. Low penetrating shot that needs to curl. And she is safe, probably just outside the circle, but she is looking at the basket with a slight downhill. We have Sarah here from about 50 feet.
She could have done without that roll away a little bit. She's trying to motion it back over.
The motions work. It's proven fact. Nice putt there by Vanessa.
Bang, bang, cleaning up the birdie. What an outstanding front nine that she's had thus far. She's 4 down on the front nine, bogey free. And there's a solid putt by Callie. And as we're going to watch these couple of women tap out, I want to just quickly again shout out Throw Pink, Innova Champion Disc, Eagle McMahon for joining me. Thank you to the PDJ and everyone else. Excited to head over to the back nine in just a few moments. Eagle, it looks like there's going to be an official battle here between Jessica and Vanessa at least.
Absolutely. It is heating up here in Vegas, and I'm excited to see how this round finishes up.